So, second chapter, item 10, explaining the thought of creation in Histaklut Nimit, item 10. Now we shall come to clarify the thought of creation. It is certainly the final act is in the preliminary thought. Even in corporeal humans with their many thoughts, in them too, the final act is in the preliminary thought. For example, when one builds one's house, we understand that the first thought in this engagement is the shape of the house to dwell in. Therefore, it is preceded by many thoughts and operations until this shape that one had pre-designed is completed. This shape is what appears at the end of all of his operations. Thus, the final act, the final result, was in the preliminary thought. The end result, which is the axis and the purpose for which they were all created, is to delight his creations, as it is written in the Zohar. It is known that his thought ends and acts immediately, for he is not a human who is obligated to act, but the thought itself completes the entire act at once. Hence, we can see that as soon as he thought about creation, to delight his creations, his light immediately extended and expanded from him in the full measure and form of the pleasures that he contemplated. It is all included in that thought, which we call the thought of creation. And examine this well. This is and examine that in depth, for the sages instructed brevity here. Know that we denominate this thought of creation by the name the light of Ein Sof. This is because we have no single word and uttering in his atzmuto, in his self, to define him by any name. Remember that.
Well, what is there to add? The thought of creation for his created beings, that's a special state which the upper force shapes towards creation, wanting to, with respect to creation, wanting to bring it to such a state, but consciously with an ability to sense it, so that the created beings will be able to feel what he did. And he cannot bring them immediately to that final point, but they must go through the entire process, which he determines due to the difference, the gap between him and the created beings. As the created beings have to come to know and feel, to go through all these states, and if they absorb all of that, all that happens to them through all these states, all those transformations, and they want to attain the thought of creation for themselves, and if they want only that and nothing else, despite the fact that the Creator places all sorts of temptations before them, all sorts of states, then it means that they can reach that final point, that final development, and to feel it in full, to feel what he prepared for them. So, it's forbidden for us to show a person something that's half done, and it's forbidden and impossible to bring a person the thought of creation and to show him what it is. He needs first to be ready for it, to digest it. It's like a little baby. Show him something very intelligent, some work of genius, and he won't understand what it's about. And so each and everything has to be revealed gradually, as this is how we develop, until we are finally ready, prepared to feel the purpose of creation, which the Creator prepared for us. And this is all attained by us through a process called the thought of creation, or the machshevet, the thought of creation, meaning that we are in the Creator's thought, which gradually becomes more clear, it develops, it acts upon us. And in that thought, He acts upon us, and as He created us, so He develops us, bringing us to the final point of our development, where we attained the final outcome, which was in the preliminary thought. What did He think about to begin with? That we attain at the end of our development.